the reason I'm doing these webinars is very, very simple. A number of you, when we did the Goldman Sachs strategy, number of questions came up, and I always, had an answer, or if I wasn't sure what the answer was, went and got it. Well, my go-to person in Chicago is the Admiral. I've had a chance, a pleasure and honor for meeting him. I'd say probably 5 years ago or so. I was teaching at CBOE. He looked me up, came in into the CBOE training room, said hello, and we exchanged cards, and then friendship was started. And one of the first things I noticed that this guy is very, very smart. Not not your average Joe. This guy knows his stuff. And of course, I've had the privilege of being around a lot of smart people, but this one, I knew something is going on. So got to know him more, and as a matter of fact, part of the reason I moved to Chicago was his friendship, things I learned from him, and the opportunities moving forward. Simply, for 5 years, he was the largest DPM on the floor of CBOE, ran a very large book, was involved with Hybrid, one of the 6 guys who were behind Hybrid. Hybrid is the platform that creates basically the today's CBOE, the floor versus the remote market maker. His background, he loved horse races. He was in marketing, was very good with numbers, and got a chance to answer a yes to a friend that said, why don't you come and take a look at CBOE, and maybe you'd like to give it a chance looking at risk reward. And as you saw in the notice that went out, he gave up what he had, started at $750 a month as a clerk, and after 2 years, he started to be a market maker, and the rest, as they say, is amazing history. Largest player in Merck stock, MRK. He'll get into some stories, some stuff that he had done. It's just amazing what he's gone through. Very, very smart cookie. He's involved still in the markets. He's still involved with the operations of several financial companies. Admiral, it's all yours.
I'm actually in the command center. Now, I know that some of you have envisioned what that might be, but obviously, being a friend, I've been here many times, but not too often do I get to sit at the helm with the throttles. And I finally have that opportunity, and it took me having to commit to doing webinars to be able to get there. So I'm a privileged person being able to share that with him. And as you know by his personality, he's very dynamic, a great person to be around, and we enjoy each other's company. And as he said, I was so impressed by what he did from a technical standpoint. I always told Fari, let's find a way to join the two expertise, and I think that we would be able to offer the financial community something that they have not been able to put their arms around and embrace. So what we're trying to accomplish, before I talk a little bit about me, which he already went into, is that we want to give you, the traders, the opportunity, basic trend of how we describe things in a military fashion, loaded with an arsenal of weapons to be able to sustain and to obviously succeed in the financial markets as you trade for yourself. I've traded on the CBOE 27 years. Being a DPM meant that I had the responsibility of creating all the markets in the pit for the other traders and those markets that were disseminated out to the public, which meant that depending on how many stocks, which could have been anywhere from 15 to 75 stocks, that we had to control the vols, the interest rate, and the pricing. So you could imagine that was quite a cumbersome chore. And at the same time, be tuned to what the market was doing, and then obviously being able to manage risk. Hopefully we'll achieve here is in that creation of your arsenal of weapons, which will be understanding all the strategies that are in the blog that you'll be giving some input to. What I want to try and achieve with you, the users, traders, at whatever level you're at, is something a little different than what I've been a part of in the past. I've attended seminars, I've lectured at seminars, I have taught many traders privately when I was trading in my group, who were my clerks, who went on to be successful traders. This is going to be a little different. It's not going to be something you read in a book. It's not going to be something you're going to sit at a 3-day class. This is going to be a hands-on presentation of each strategy and some of the nuances that go with each of those strategies, but it'll be a very pragmatic, very simple understanding so that for each level of individual trading, which as I will go on will prove to be very important knowing that, what level you are at, we'll be able to take advantage of the opportunities that I think I could extend out to you. I've always enjoyed teaching. I've always enjoyed watching and listening to people ask questions, regardless of what the questions are. As I've told many of my clerks in the past, no question is a dumb question when it comes to trading. We're dealing with money, and in your case, you're now dealing with your money. So obviously, it's very important, and every question is an important one to yourself as to myself. So what I want to extend is the intelligence of the education of all the possible strategies. Try and explain some of the trading psyche that goes with trading. And I think once we achieve that through all these sessions that we do in this series, that by the end or somewhere in the middle, you'll achieve a level of understanding so that when Safari speaks of these opportunities, which he's given you great insight to technically, that you'll be basically armed with an arsenal of your intellectual properties you're going to gain here from your understanding of your strategies to be able, besides those strategies that we're giving you as possibilities, be able to go through and decide, well, maybe I want to do this and see how it can complement or be an alternative to exactly what we're recommending. The goal here obviously is always one that's very simple. We want to be plus. We want to make money. The other goal is we want to sustain. Longevity is probably, I think, the greatest quality of trading. I've experienced many people telling stories about how I made millions and how I made this great trade, going on, and basically you don't hear about when they lose. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about both, and the reason for that is because it's reality.